we good?
Yep, we're live.
Okay, so I'm going to be demonstrating Fabric here today, and Fabric is basically a really neat Python library that allows you to execute commands to a server over a secure connection, over a secure shell connection. So basically, it automates system administration tasks, deployment tasks, etc. And I'm just going to dive right into it here, because we've been doing this several times before now. Basically, what you need to do is install Fabric via pip or whatever, which is pretty easy. And then you create something called a fab file. And a fab file basically contains all these different commands that you want to run remotely on a server. And so for example, in this fab file right here, I've included the Fabric libraries on these 4 commands. And then I've defined...
I only see the documentation. Am I not saying the right thing?
There might be
the docs.
Is there a lag?
It was real quick last time.
Furthermore, I'm able to scroll the docs.
Yeah,
oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Let's, what about...
Wow, you're scrolling them now.
How about this?
Yeah, that looks like we're looking at your webpage
There's...
now.
That's the dim homepage. And just flip it again. There it is. Screen share viewer.
Cool.
Okay, we good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The font's really small. Oh, let me zoom in.
You can zoom in.
That's better. Okay.
Okay, so basically what you do is you create this fab file, and then in the fab file you include the different library functions from Fabric. And so from here I'm importing everything from fabric.api and something from contrib and context manage and decorators. And then basically what you do is you define different methods. And these different methods, for example, mine are pack, reload services, and deploy. Pack basically archives my Git repository and packs it all into a BZ2 file. Reload services reloads the configuration of Apache and Nginx. And then deploy actually calls the pack command, unzips or untars the files into the proper deployment directory, and then reloads Apache and Nginx so that they're doing the stuff that they need to do. This is a very, very, very simple Fabric file. In fact, the one that I'm using for my client right now is about 500 lines because we're automating so many different things with it, and there's different steps that we need to do for testing environments and production environments, etc. And so this is a very simplified version just to explain the process that we're doing here. And the way that you can actually view a Fabric file or view the Fabric commands is you type fab and then -L or -L. And you can see these are actually the 3 methods that I had inside that Fabric file: deploy, pack, and reload services. And you even have documentation strings right next to them there that actually pull directly from the doc strings in your file. Which is really cool. So it's a self-documenting program, so it can be easily used by other people in the project that you're working on. And then so for example, if I want to deploy the current version that I have right now, let's see. So this is like a really simple little thing that I worked on a while ago. Let me see if I know how to log in. We have. Uh-oh. It's apparently broken. Projects ticket. Oh, I think my database is out of date. But anyways, you can see here, like, we have a really simple template and whatnot. And so if I want to modify this template, this is actually the deployed version on my website. And if I were to modify something about this, so if I go into the base template right here, and let's say I put something that's very easily noticeable. So code tank fabric demo, and then I commit my changes, and then from here I can actually just use the fabric command. So -u means use the user Ryan, and I want to deploy on my server, and inside that fab file there we actually define what hosts that we want to use. Right here, env.host equals this. And what's cool is Fabric actually defines a few different methods of specifying what host you want to use. So I can do env.host, which is universal for this entire file, or I can actually use a decorator before each method, and I say, okay, this method is specific to this host, and this method is specific to this other host, which is kind of neat. Or you can even do it from the command line by specifying something like fab, user Ryan H, I don't know, the host will be bixley.com or something like that. So it's really very versatile in the way that you can use it. And then we simply type deploy.
No, we're not seeing the command line. I'm not, anyways.
It may be too far down there. Let's see. Is that easier?
No, I don't see it still. Oh, do I have to scroll the screen down myself?
No, you shouldn't have to.
I see it now.
There's a camera, yeah.
So can you see it right there?
I see your Firefox. Yep, yeah, I see it.
Okay. I have no idea where it was. Hold on. Okay, so you can see here when I type fab user Ryan deploy, it's actually going through all these different commands that I've specified in that file, and they're all completely automated. So it was like if we look inside of the fab file, you can see on the command output right here, it tarred up my my Git archive there. It removed the old code tank file in the temp fabric directory. We reload Apache, and then it gives us the output of what Nginx spits out to the console was that the configuration file is okay. And if we look in the fab file here, we can see that all those commands are just right here. And it's kind of neat because Fabric actually uses Python 2.5 or 2.6's context manager, context management. So you can use the with statement, and in order to change directories here, we can go with cd, op web apps domain, and then all these commands subsequently within that with block are executed within that directory, which is kind of neat. Okay, and so that's just deployed, and so if we want to check that, we can go on here and see we see Code Tank Fabric Demo. So it's been deployed to my server, and it's up and running, and it's all good. So this has literally cut the deployment time for my client from about half an hour down to maybe 2 minutes.
Wow.
It's absolutely phenomenal tool for deployments and for server maintenance. So, and we actually started using a tool initially called Capistrano, which is basically the Ruby version of this. And obviously, we're a Python development team, and we weren't using Ruby anywhere in our source code, so I was looking for a Python alternative. And Fabric came up, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful addition to our project as a whole. So, anyways,
does the Fabric client need to be on both servers?
No, it only needs to be on the server that you're using it from. Everything else that it does, it uses SSH to tunnel in and execute all commands and whatnot. So it's only necessary on the client side.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Are there any questions?
No, I think you explained it well, Ryan. Cool, man. I think that was good. Oh, I think Vincent's typing something here.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, he said it sounds like it'd be good for Bling Node. How would that integrate with Bling Node? I mean, because Bling Node takes automation. Well, so you would take Fabric and just run Bling Node on a server by punching in a few commands on actually going to that server.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds to me like so in Bling Node there's like a lot of like shell scripts, right, and whatnot that you guys have created.
It's mostly Python scripts, some shell scripts.
Okay, well this would essentially replace all of the shell scripts that you guys are using, and would make it so that it's very configurable in the command line arguments that you can pass into it, and I mean I haven't looked at Bling Node a whole lot yet, but I think that Fabric could potentially be a really nice addition to it.
Interesting. Cool. Well, looks like our time's about up, so I'll go ahead and stop the recording.
All right, sounds good.
Good job, Ryan.
Thank you.